My beloved child, I need you to take a slow and steady breath as these words find their way to your heart. What you are about to read may stir something deep inside you. It may bring tears to your eyes or tension to your chest. It may confirm something you have been feeling for a long time but were afraid to say out loud. Whatever emotions rise up within you as you read these words, please know that you are not alone in this moment. Heaven is sitting beside you right now, and everything that is being shared with you today is coming from a place of pure love and genuine concern for your well-being. You trusted someone. You opened a door that you rarely open for anyone. You let this person walk into the most private rooms of your heart and you showed them things that you have never shown another living soul. Maybe it was a fear you carry in silence. Maybe it was a wound from your past that still bleeds when touched. Maybe it was a dream so fragile that you were afraid that speaking it too loudly would cause it to shatter. Whatever it was, you chose this person. Out of everyone in your life, out of every single soul who has walked beside you, you looked at this particular person and you decided that they were worthy of your truth. That decision took courage. People who have been hurt before do not open up easily. People who have carried heavy things alone for a long time do not simply hand their burdens to another person without careful thought. You did not share those private words carelessly. You shared them because something in you believed that this person was different. You believed that they understood the weight of what you were giving them. You believed that your secrets were safe inside their heart. But last night, everything changed. Last night, this person was seen doing something that you never imagined they would do. They were caught in a private conversation with someone you never expected, and the words coming out of their mouth were your words. The details they were sharing were your details. The story they were telling was your story, twisted just enough to serve their own purpose but still recognizable as the truth you once placed in their hands. They were speaking about you, about the private things you shared with them, to someone who had absolutely no business knowing any of it. And now you are sitting with that discovery, trying to make sense of it. You are probably replaying every conversation you have ever had with this person. You are going back through your memories and looking at things differently now. The moments that once felt warm and safe are now tinged with doubt. You are wondering what else they have said. You are wondering who else has heard things that were meant only for their ears. You are wondering how long this has been going on and whether everything you believed about this relationship was real or whether you were simply seeing what you wanted to see. These are natural thoughts to have. Your mind is trying to protect you by gathering as much information as possible. Your spirit is working overtime to help you process something that your heart has not yet fully accepted. Do not fight those thoughts. Let them come. But as they come, please hold on to this one truth above all others: none of this is your fault. You did nothing wrong by trusting. You did nothing wrong by loving. You did nothing wrong by believing that the person standing in front of you was who they claimed to be. The fault in this situation does not rest on your shoulders. It rests entirely on the shoulders of the one who took your vulnerability and used it as entertainment, as a tool, as something to pass around without your knowledge or permission. Now let us talk about why they did it, because understanding the why can sometimes help the heart begin to heal even before the full truth has come to light. People who betray the trust of those who love them are almost never acting from a place of strength. They are acting from a place of deep insecurity. When your special person sat down with that other individual last night and began sharing your private words, they were not doing it because they are powerful or because they feel secure in who they are. They were doing it because something inside them needed feeding. They needed to feel important. They needed someone to look at them with wide eyes and think of them as someone who is deeply connected, deeply trusted, deeply close to someone special. They were using your story to build themselves up in the eyes of another person. There is also another possibility that is even harder to sit with. They may have been laying groundwork. When a person knows they have done something wrong, when they know that eventually the truth about their own behavior is going to come to light, they sometimes try to get ahead of the story. They start planting seeds of doubt about you in the minds of people around them. They begin shaping the narrative so that when you finally speak, there are already people who have been quietly prepared to question your version of events. They are not sharing your secrets out of confusion or carelessness. They are doing it deliberately, strategically, because they are more afraid of being exposed than they are concerned about protecting your heart. And here is the part that should stop you in your tracks. They did all of this while still looking you in the eyes and calling you their special person. They did this while still accepting your love, your time, your energy, and your trust. They smiled at you. They held your hand or squeezed your shoulder or told you that everything between you was safe. They performed the role of someone trustworthy while quietly dismantling the very foundation of what you shared. That kind of behavior takes a level of awareness and intentionality that cannot be explained away with a simple apology. This was not an accident. This was not a moment of weakness. This was a choice that they made, and they made it more than once, because these kinds of conversations do not happen in a single night. The comfort with which they spoke about your private matters suggests that this has happened before. The casualness in their voice as they shared what was sacred suggests that they have been doing this for longer than last night. Your spirit knew something was wrong before your mind was ready to accept it. Think back to those moments when something felt slightly off. Think about the times when they gave you an answer that did not quite fit the question. Think about the moments when their eyes looked somewhere else while they were telling you they were fully present with you. Think about the times you felt a chill in the air even when the room was warm, or when a knot formed in your stomach for no reason you could name. That was not anxiety without cause. That was not you being difficult or suspicious or overly sensitive. That was your intuition doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your spirit was sending you signals, trying to show you what your eyes were not yet willing to see. Heaven designed you with an inner knowing that is more powerful than any logic or reasoning. That inner knowing does not speak in loud dramatic announcements. It speaks in small, quiet nudges. It speaks in the slight unease that settles over you when something is not right. It speaks in the way your body tenses when a certain person enters the room even though your mind has not yet registered the reason. You felt those nudges. You noticed those signs. But because you loved this person, because you wanted to believe the best about them, you convinced yourself that you were imagining things. You were not imagining anything. Everything you felt was real. Everything your spirit was trying to show you was true. The distance you sensed was genuine distance. The change in their energy was a real change. The defensiveness that appeared out of nowhere when you asked a perfectly innocent question was not them having a bad day. It was guilt looking for somewhere to hide. And now the truth has come forward, not to punish you and not to humiliate you, but to finally give you the clarity that you have been quietly praying for without even realizing it. You have been living under the weight of uncertainty for too long. You have been carrying a quiet confusion that you could not quite name, wondering whether the relationship you were in was as solid as it appeared on the surface. Heaven heard that quiet wondering and chose to answer it, not with more mystery but with direct and undeniable truth. The revelation came in the form of being caught. The person you trusted was seen. Their conversation was witnessed. What they said about you and the way they said it was heard by someone, and now it has reached your ears. This is not coincidence. Coincidence is not powerful enough to arrange the kind of exposure that unmasks a carefully hidden betrayal. This is divine timing, and divine timing never arrives a moment too early or a moment too late. It arrives exactly when you are ready to receive what you need to know. You are ready. Even if part of you wishes you were not, even if part of you would prefer to go back to the comfortable uncertainty rather than face this painful clarity, the deeper part of you has always been ready for this truth. The deeper part of you has been waiting for permission to trust what you already felt. So now that you have this knowledge, the question becomes, what do you do with it? The first and most important thing is this: do not act from a place of hot emotion. When you have just discovered a betrayal, your heart is on fire. Every feeling is amplified. The hurt is intense, the anger is sharp, and the desire to respond immediately is almost overwhelming. But rushed responses made in the heat of the moment rarely produce the outcomes we truly want. They often give the person who betrayed us exactly the kind of reaction they can use to reframe the situation and make themselves look like the victim. Step back. Breathe. Give yourself time to feel everything without immediately acting on everything. Let your emotions move through you like a storm, but do not make permanent decisions in the middle of temporary weather. Your response to this betrayal will say everything about who you are as a person, and you have spent too long building your character to let it be dismantled by someone who does not deserve to have that kind of power over you. Watch how they behave in the coming days. Watch carefully and quietly. A person who has genuinely betrayed you and feels true remorse will eventually show signs of that remorse without needing to be directly confronted. Their behavior will change. Their discomfort around you will increase. They may become either unusually distant or unusually affectionate as guilt pulls them in different directions. They will make small mistakes in their stories because maintaining a lie requires perfect memory, and most people are not capable of that kind of consistency over a long period of time. When they come to you, whether they come with excuses or with apologies, listen carefully to the quality of what they offer. A genuine apology will not contain the word but. A genuine apology will not try to redirect your attention toward your own imperfections. A genuine apology will not rush you to forgive before you have had time to process what was done to you. A genuine apology will sit quietly with the full weight of what it caused and will patiently wait for you to decide what you need next, without pressure, without manipulation, and without ultimatums. If they come to you with explanations that twist the story, if they try to make you feel unreasonable for being hurt, if they suggest that the real problem is your reaction rather than their actions, that tells you everything you need to know about their readiness for honest accountability. People who have truly changed are willing to be uncomfortable. People who are still protecting themselves will find a way to make your pain about them. You are also allowed to ask for time. You are allowed to say that you are not ready to have that conversation yet. You are allowed to create space between yourself and this person while you process what has happened. Distance is not cruelty. Creating boundaries around your heart is not punishment. It is simply you honoring the fact that something deeply personal was violated and that you deserve the room to heal without having to simultaneously manage someone else's guilt about causing the wound. Do not feel guilty about protecting yourself. Society sometimes teaches us, especially those of us who love deeply and feel strongly, that pulling back from someone who hurt us makes us cold or unforgiving. But there is an enormous difference between unforgiveness and wisdom. You can fully forgive someone in your heart, truly wish them no harm, genuinely release the bitterness and the anger, and still make the clear-eyed decision not to return to a situation that repeatedly puts you in a vulnerable position. Forgiveness is something you do for your own peace. It is the act of releasing poison from your own body so that it stops damaging you from the inside. But forgiveness does not come with a requirement to restore the same level of access, the same level of trust, or the same level of closeness that existed before the betrayal occurred. Trust is not a light switch that gets turned back on the moment someone says sorry. Trust is rebuilt slowly, carefully, and over time through consistent changed behavior. Words are cheap. Promises cost nothing to make. Only actions carried out day after day, in both easy moments and difficult ones, have the power to genuinely rebuild what was broken. You are not obligated to accept words as evidence of transformation. You are allowed to wait and watch and let their actions speak for themselves over time. And if their actions confirm that nothing has truly changed, if the pattern continues and the behavior repeats itself and the same person who once whispered your secrets in the dark is still doing it in different forms, then you have your answer. Not every relationship that begins with love is meant to continue forever. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay for the whole journey. Some people arrive to teach you something important and then their chapter in your story must come to an end so that a new chapter can begin. The hardest part of this truth is the grief that comes with it. Because even when someone hurts you deeply, even when the betrayal is clear and undeniable, you still grieve the version of them that you believed in. You grieve the relationship you thought you had. You grieve the safety you thought you felt. You grieve the future you had quietly imagined with this person beside you. That grief is real and it deserves to be honored. Do not rush past it. Do not pretend it is not there. Sit with it, cry if you need to cry, feel every wave of it, and know that grief does not mean you made a mistake by loving. It simply means you loved sincerely, and that is never something to be ashamed of. Your capacity for genuine love, your willingness to trust, your openness to share the most sacred parts of yourself, these are not weaknesses. These are some of the most powerful and beautiful qualities a person can possess. The world is full of people who have closed themselves off completely because of past hurt. The world is full of hearts that have become so guarded that genuine connection is no longer possible for them. You have not allowed yourself to become that. Even after everything you have been through, even after every time something or someone has wounded you, you still found the courage to love again. You still found the courage to share again. That courage is remarkable. Do not let this betrayal turn that courage into stone. Do not let this experience convince you that you should stop trusting altogether or that you should stop allowing people access to your heart. What this experience should teach you is discernment. There is a difference between closing your heart entirely and simply becoming more careful about who you allow inside it. Discernment is not the same as coldness. Discernment is wisdom. It is the ability to observe someone's actions over time before you hand them the most precious parts of yourself. It is the ability to take note of small inconsistencies before they become large betrayals. It is the ability to honor the signals your spirit sends you without immediately talking yourself out of what you feel. You are being given a second chance right now. A second chance to choose more wisely. A second chance to build a life and relationships that are rooted in genuine honesty rather than comfortable illusions. The path forward is not going to be perfectly smooth. There will be moments when the pain of this discovery resurfaces without warning. There will be days when you miss the version of this relationship that you believed existed. There will be nights when you question everything and feel unsure about what comes next. But there will also be mornings when you wake up and feel the quiet, steady strength of a person who chose truth over comfort. There will be days when you realize that what felt like a loss was actually a liberation. There will be moments when you look around at the life you are building and understand with absolute certainty that the exposure of this betrayal was not the moment your story fell apart. It was the moment your story was finally allowed to begin moving in the right direction. Heaven has not brought this truth to your door to break you. Heaven does not work to destroy its children. Everything that is being uncovered right now is being uncovered because you have a future that requires a clean foundation. You cannot build something beautiful and lasting on ground that is cracked with hidden deception. The betrayal that was kept in secret would have eventually poisoned everything you tried to create. By coming to light now, it is giving you the chance to clear the ground and start fresh on soil that is solid and honest and real. You are loved more than you currently understand. You are seen more completely than you currently feel. Every tear you have cried, every confused and sleepless night, every moment of doubt and quiet grief has been witnessed. Nothing about your experience has gone unnoticed. And the love that watches over you has decided that you deserve more than what this person was offering you behind closed doors. So hold your head up, beloved child. Walk forward with your heart still open but now protected by the wisdom you have earned. Let this season of revelation sharpen your instincts rather than harden your spirit. Become someone who loves generously but who can also recognize when love is being offered without the integrity it requires to be real. The truth that came to you last night was not a punishment. It was a gift. It was heaven saying to you clearly and with great love that you deserve better than secrets, better than half-truths, better than a person who holds your trust with one hand and throws it away with the other. You deserve loyalty that does not waver when no one is watching. You deserve love that protects you even in your absence. You deserve a connection that feels the same in private as it does in public. You deserve everything you have been willing to give. And the moment you truly believe that, the moment that truth settles into the deepest place in your heart, is the moment your life will begin to change in ways that will exceed everything you have previously imagined. This is not your ending. This is your beginning. And it is more beautiful than you.